Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is January 7th, 2021, and these are the top stories of the day. Before we get into gaming news, I just wanted to say thank you for joining me today. January 7th is an interesting date for me because it marks my half birthday. No, I don't celebrate my half birthday by having a party or anything like that. I just look at it as, this is the halfway mark between the beginning of my personal year and before I turn a new age. In this case, today I'm exactly 37 and a half years old. What I do on my half birthday is use it as a reflection point in my year so far. What's my progress like in terms of goals that I have before I turn 38 or before I turned 37 and so forth? I've been doing this for as long as I can remember, in particular, as long as I've been an adult, I should say. Although, as a kid, I used to be like, 14 and a half or 15 and a half, whatever. That's cool. But in my adult life, I use it as that marker of, okay, halfway into this year, what did I do? Did I make the most out of it? Did I achieve any goals? How far away am I from that next fitness goal, from that next book to finish reading, from that goal of house project outside? Am I being productive? Have I learned something new? Have I challenged myself? Where did I want to be? Am I falling behind? Am I where I should be at? If I'm where I should be, don't get complacent. Try to keep that momentum and push a little bit farther. If I'm behind, try to use that as don't fall behind further. Push harder in the next 6 months before you turn that next age. So, I just wanted to say that this is my day, and I'm happy where I'm at personally. I would like to continue in this proper trajectory as I turn 38 this July 7th. So, anyways, with that out of the way, something personal, let's get into gaming news. Today, this morning, was big. It was our Monster Hunter Rise presentation video. I had my talk, my live reaction, and it was a very solid video, I should say, presentation. 20 minutes long approximately. I had some good talk. Capcom revealed quite a few new monsters, the ability to ride them, which is really cool. They announced that the demo was dropping today, and that's awesome. So if you have not already checked it out on the Nintendo Switch, just go over to the eShop, download it. It's for free. You can play several different modes in the game. The demo's not going to last forever, so might as well just download it now and enjoy it for the upcoming month. The game comes out March 26th as one extra reminder, and I'm liking it so far. It's, a cool game, and I think it's going to be a big hit in just 2 months' time, so I'm definitely excited. And with that out of the way, let's go into the next topic. But let me know what you think of Monster Hunter Rise because, I already did a video on it today, so I don't want to spend too much time, but it honestly is one of the coolest points of the day. So if you're a fan of Monster Hunter Rise, if you're as stoked for the new entry as I am, sound off in the comments and let's have some extra fun discussion. Okay, but now moving on. This is something pretty cool to look forward to. Viz Media is bringing over an English translated book of Ask Iwata. Ask Iwata is a hardcover book available from a multiple variety of outlets from $22.99 approximately, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, etc. And what it is a Words of Wisdom book. Mr. Iwata was Nintendo's president for a number of years. He passed away, very unfortunately, several years ago now. But this is a translated book of his philosophies on game design, what to do when you get into a difficult point into game development, what it means to delay a game, how to encourage people within your development community to achieve next goals. We should have plenty of conversations of his and folks like Mr. Iwata, like Mr. Miyamoto with him in here, and it should be quite a nice read. So if you're interested, you could go over to any number of these places. There's, like I said, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, bookshop.org, Right Stuff, Walmart has it, Books A Million. Actual prices may vary, but yeah. I think this would be a nice read if you're a video game fan. It comes out April 13th. It's 176 pages long. And if you are looking into video game development yourself or just want to learn more behind the man and how he thought and why he was so well respected from not just fans but peers and pretty much everybody in the video game industry, then could very well be worth your $23 to check out. I know I definitely will. And moving on, this is something cool today. We got a look at King of Fighters 15. Let's check it out together, shall we? I already watched it, but it was cool enough that I'm going to play it again so we can see it together. Let's do it. So this is King of Fighters 15. Benimaru, Mai, Kyo.
Set all expectations. Coming 2021.
Tune in next week for more info. So like I said, a short trailer, not even a minute long, but it's good to know that the game is coming out this year. I'm a big fighting game fan. I like King of Fighters. I like the Fatal Fury franchise, Art of Fighting. I like Terry Bogard and co. I like Mai. Who doesn't like Mai, right? But the style looks nice. It looks better than 14. I do miss that really stylized look that 13 had, but going into, polygons and kind of a quasi-cell shaded formula for how the characters look, that's fine. The models look all right. Some of the hands look pretty big in comparison, but a lot of fighting games do that. Street Fighter V was no exception, and that's because they want to make the fists feel more impactful when they're fighting, hit detection boxes more pronounced on screen and whatnot. So kind of with the exception of Mortal Kombat, that does pretty much one-to-one how our hands and faces are to each other. A lot of these other games do exaggerate the hands sizes and whatnot, but it's okay. Anyways, we'll have to see what it looks like with actual life bars on the screen and how it feels, but so far so good. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know when to expect it, but if we're seeing a trailer now, if I had to guess, I'd say late summer. Let's call it a September title, okay? Just throwing it out there, but so far so good. Let me know what you think. And moving on. It is Thursday after all. And what a treat for me on my half birthday. Not only do I get a Monster Hunter Rise demo, but I get my Famitsu weekly sales charts. And this is my favorite stuff to talk about. Well, one of my favorites. This once again is on the resetera.com forums, presented by Chris1964. Thank you as always. This data represents week 1 of 2021. I expressed this a few days ago and leading up until this for a couple of weeks that week 1 is going to be kind of weird. It'll be like a week 53/week 1. And that's because it uses the 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. It uses 4 days of 2020 in it and 1, 2, 3 days of January of 2021. So if you want to split the software and hardware, you could say that, 4/7 of this data could belong in 2020, including the software and hardware that I'm about to tell you, and 3/7 kicks off 2021. So, at least how it's presented, it's week 1, so we'll just go with that for now. And it's an awesome list, let me tell you that. Number 1, best-selling game of the week, Momotaro Dentetsu. Yet again, with 190,000 copies sold, crushing way past the 1 million mark. It already did that last week. The last week's numbers we got kind of late. Now that game's at 1.4 million physically alone. Number 2 spot, Animal Crossing. This game that came out in March busted out 94,000 copies for the week, 6.4 million physical. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, number 3, with 83,000 copies sold, up 23%. Do you realize that this game came out back in the middle of 2017 and it is selling now better, not just up 23% this week from the previous week, but better for this week in 2020 slash 21, this little portion, than the equivalent 52 weeks ago, last 19 to 20. Isn't that wild? As more people are buying Nintendo Switches, the greater the user base, the greater the fan base of Mario Kart is becoming. It's not like this old title that's forgotten about. It's like, nah, the attach rate to new systems is strong and it's growing. Wonderful. Ring Fit Adventure at number 4 with 70,000, now 2.1 million, up 21% from the previous week. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at number 5, 54,000. Games at 4,068,000 physical. Clubhouse 51 games. Worldwide Classics 45,000 at number 6. Passed through 500,000 easy. At number 7, Super Mario Party 44,000, 1.7 million. Number 8 is Minecraft 37,000, 1.7 million total, just physical, remember. Pikmin 3 Deluxe 36,000. What a turnaround for the franchise. It's just a couple of copies away from hitting that 500,000 mark, physically alone. Number 10, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, 525,000. Awesome. As we go further down into the list, Splatoon 2, doing quite well. Pokemon Sword and Shield, getting close to that 4 million. And the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass, if you include that, which you should because that is technically the game, it already is past 4 million physically. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe coming in at number 14. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin at number 15. Moving along, you've got Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, a respectable 14,000, hitting 319 now. This game I do expect will hit 500,000 physically alone. It probably is already at that level in Japan in terms of digital data and physical data sales combined, but we will get Nintendo's official reports, not too long from now, saying just how well all of their software is. So we'll wait till then to truly see. Puyo Puyo Tetris at number 17, Super Mario Odyssey at number 18, Super Mario Maker 2 at number 19, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at number 20, Fishing Spirits at 21, Human Fall Flat at 22, 23's got Luigi's Mansion 3, 24. Normally we stay at the top 10, so I'll make this quick. 24's got Derby Stallion, 25 at Fitness Boxing 2, 26 at Dragon Quest 11. Going on down the list, number 27, Taiko no Taitsujin. Number 28, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. Number 29, Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training for Nintendo Switch. And number 30, the one non-Nintendo game on this list is for PlayStation 4, and that is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Whew, what a mouthful of a list. And here you could see the top 30 had 29 games on the Nintendo Switch. No 3DS titles here, no Xbox One titles or Xbox Series titles, no PlayStation 5 titles here, one PS4 game. It's become common to see, 8, 9, even 10 during the holidays being top 10 Nintendo Switch, but to have top 30 almost all be Nintendo is a little bit more rare. That's pretty special. Nintendo is just doing phenomenally well in Japan. And I talked the other day about Sony's continuous downward spiral in Japan, but I don't think it's doom and gloom for them. I do think that the PS5 will bounce up and do significantly better than it is now in these launch weeks, but I don't think that PlayStation 5 is going to top Nintendo Switch anytime soon, but it will do better than it is now. And hopefully in terms of Xbox camp, it also does better because I think the Series S and X do hold a place in the Japanese market. They just need to be adopted better. And moving into hardware, also pretty exciting. Mind-blowing sales. Nintendo Switch 312,000 units sold, up quite a bit from last week's 278,000. We're looking at plus 30,000. Up a lot over last year's 284,000. Up enough that even with the drop off that always comes after this week, I don't think the drop off is going to be as great this time around, because with this Monster Hunter Rise presentation, I think that more people than normal going into March are going to be buying Nintendo Switches in advance to get that Monster Hunter game, because it's going to be a pretty big deal, and the system will obviously sell very well the week Monster Hunter Rise comes out, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the first several weeks of 2021 outpacing 2020 in preparation and mental mindset of Rise. But you might argue that some people will purposely hold out because they're holding on for a possible bundle or a special edition Nintendo Switch, but we'll see. Lifetime to date, Nintendo Switch is past 17.5 million in Japan. And this also means that if you take this 312,000 and split it kind of evenly between counting for week 52 in Japan of 2020 and week 1 of 2021 in Japan, Nintendo Switch officially has hit 6 million consoles sold in Japan for 2020, which is an achievement that does not happen often in video game consoles in the Japanese market. Coming in at number 2, PlayStation 4 with 17,000, up a decent amount from last week, which is nice to see. Far off from last year, but it's a 7-year-old system. What do you expect? It's doing okay at 17,000. Lifetime to date, 9.3 million. PS5, yes, PS5 came in at number 3 at 10,000 with 265,000 total. Just over 250,000. 3DS at number 4, 714. But its lifetime is quite a beast of a machine, 24.5 million. That's not going to change anytime soon, really. But like I said, that's an even older machine. You know, you're looking at a 10-year-old platform right here. An Xbox Series, 134 units, 31,558 total. It paints an interesting picture for the Japanese market and seeing where things are going from here. Part of PS5's problem is stock. Part of it is interest. Part of it is lack of compelling games that, you know, are in the mind of the Japanese market, but I do expect it to do better. I don't think it's guaranteed that it's going to do as well as the PS4 in Japan. In fact, I think I'll make a prediction now and say I don't believe that PlayStation 5 will hit 9.3 million consoles sold in Japan in its lifetime. But we'll see. Let's look back in 2027 when this video is 7 years old, and we'll see where is the PS5 at in Japan. Will the Nintendo Switch beat the 3DS? I believe so as well. Unless if Nintendo Switch gets, killed in support and Nintendo, releases the Nintendo Switch 2 earlier than we all anticipated, which I don't think is going to be the case. Nintendo Switch, really has a ceiling that's going to be pretty high up. Because if you look at the difference right now, there are, 6.9 million between the two. But Nintendo Switch sold 6 million in just this year. Even if it does, 5 million next year, then that gap is, just a million plus off. So it'll easily pass 3DS sometime in 2022 at the latest, mid 2022 at the latest, I'd say. So, yeah, and then, who knows how high? What's it going to do? Hit DS levels? Oof, I don't know about that. DS was on a whole other level, but hey, with the Nintendo Switch revision, more powerful model coming out, rumored, dropping the price of the normal Switch and the Switch Lite even lower, hey, Nintendo Switch could become the next best-selling platform of all time in Japan and maybe worldwide, but that's down the road because it has to do 158 million to do that. That's a lot, but we'll see. That's gonna do it for today's video game news. I had fun talking. Got some Monster Hunter talk. We got some Iwata Ask book talk. King of Fighters 15 video, and some Famitsu sales. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Thanks for joining me. Hope you all are all having a good time playing Monster Hunter Rise. This is Paul Gale Network signing out. Take it easy. See you next time. Bye.